We rode the Queenstown Gondola expecting sweeping alpine views and a beautiful hike back down into town. But almost immediately, we realized this experience was going to be very different from what we had imagined.
It seems that all of Queenstown is under construction right now.
Between unexpected construction, changing trail conditions from top to bottom, and an important planning detail we wish we'd known ahead of time, this is a hike you'll want to be prepared for. So stick around to the end because later I'll share a key ticketing detail that could impact how you plan this experience. Let me make it clear that the views on top of Bob's Peak are incredible. No matter how you get up here, it's absolutely worth it. Now, the first surprise was the amount of construction that I found on top of the mountain. Now, it doesn't impede your views, but as you're walking around, it is quite noticeable. Skyline Queenstown is in the midst of a comprehensive $250 million redevelopment project known as Project Skyline, and it is working to enhance the visitor experience atop Bob's Peak. Now, this has been a multi-year phased project. We were able to ride in the newly built larger gondolas. And the phase they're in now is they are rebuilding the complex that's up on top of the mountain.
Walkers only this side, bikes on the other side.
Okay.
I think it's 2.5 miles, I thought I read, but here's the trail entrance. All right. Ooh, I'm excited to go in the forest. They have a zip line right here. No shortage of activities on top of this mountain. All right, there's a zip line. We're taking the Tiki Trail. There was a huge redevelopment that would explain all of the construction. It's quite unsightly. There's a lot happening. And now we head into the forest for a while. Unfortunately, this whole forest is just cut down, chopped down, it's laying around. So it's not as pretty as it could be, at least here right by the lift area. And then, of course, there's people screaming from the zip line. This path goes farther away from the lift area, so I'm hoping that it will get a little more natural beauty and less torn up and ripped apart. Here's the zip line right up above us.
Yeah, it's a little large.
So at this point, they give you some stairs to drop a few levels. It's becoming more green as we head down, which is nice. Finally opening up to some beautiful views by the lake. I'm still surprised at how much of the tree branches are lying around. They've really cleared out quite a bit, but wow. Yes, this is a nice stopping point. So my knees are a little out of practice. Haven't been hiking in a while, so we found a little walking stick. I heard it gets pretty steep as we go down. There was plenty of broken wood on the trail. Ooh. Now this is what I'm talking about. Tree felling in progress. So this is definitely a purposeful, it's kind of a shame really that, I don't know why they're doing this, but the entire mountainside, way wider than is necessary, has been cleared under the gondola, and it's kind of an eyesore. I will see if I can find out some information about why they're doing that.
All right, so I did a little bit of research, and here is what I found out. So in September of 2023, there was a massive storm with record rains that caused a major landslide down this hill onto Queenstown Cemetery and the Beacon Street area. So part of this work is storm cleanup, and then in addition, they decided to go ahead and remove these wilding pines. So these pine trees were at one time planted to give this area more of an alpine look, but they were invasive, non-native, and they grew like crazy, and they didn't have deep roots, and so they were prone to falling. And so now there's a major effort to take down all these trees and to replant with native species. So that's what's really going on now, and I don't know how long it's going to take. So it's going to be a while before this area grows back.
Oh, this is what they're planting. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the pine, I think, and they want, these are the native trees, although I don't know what it's called at the moment. So while they warn you that the trail is super steep, so far they have a lot of those stones that provide steps. So it really hasn't been difficult. Now maybe we haven't reached the bottom yet, so maybe there's more to come, but it doesn't feel scary or dangerous in any way. It's just not as pretty as I would have liked because of all the trees that have been cut down. This is pretty though. Down, down, and down. It's very obvious here that all the wind is on the water. I actually thought it was going to be more windy at the top, and it wasn't. And now as soon as we can see the water, the winds are picking up in the forest. So, as I've said before, layers are your friend. Another muddy patch. Just look at all those logs. Holy crap. That is a lot. Now there's something blooming right here. Look at these cute little blossoms. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty. Almost reminds me of a berry bush of some sort. It's the first blooms I've seen. It's the first blooms I've seen on the trail, but holy crap, look at those logs. Wow. Yeah, not the best view that you want while you're on a nature hike. All right, I have no idea how much farther we have. We are here, right here. And so I guess, where's the bottom? Here? I think we're here, so we're almost near the end. Just a short while after that logging trail, the trail gets a lot harder. It's just not as well defined, a little more rock scrambling on the way down. So just keep that in mind. It is a little more on the difficult. It's doable. I'm not a super adventure person. It's doable, but it just takes a little more care climbing over some of these areas. A little bit of a surprise because it was pretty easy up to this point. So we're pretty darn close to the end, I think. Well, now I see why this trail was rated as difficult. Definitely it gets harder here at the end. And I see the zipline platforms all the way down here, but I don't think they're using it all the way down to the bottom because there was a lot of people on the zip lines up top. But it's been super quiet now. I don't hear anybody down here. I think a ticket on the gondola and the luge is probably better. I just feel like this hike has not quite been as scenic as it could be. But if you're in for some good exercise, I saw somebody running the trail down, or he was walking really fast down, and he said he was on his third trip down the mountain and he was stress testing his knees. That'll do it. And the wind is picking up. So I'll see you down at the bottom. Well, we end up in the cemetery. And I'm proud to say we did it. We'll see how my knees feel a little later after we stop for something to eat. So just be advised. It's pretty steep, but good exercise. I'll give it that much. The Tiki Trail. Oh, there's been a temporary diversion. So the trail we took wasn't necessarily the full trail. I'm not really sure. Oh, let's see. The red is the closed section of the trail, and the orange is the way we ended up going. So if you're looking at the trail map on all trails, I guess it shows the actual trail, not the diversion. But it wasn't, I don't think it was too much different. And then if you feel like you want to die when you're done, there's a cemetery here for you. I was kind of surprised we were not allowed to buy a one-way ticket up. Now, if you hiked up, you could buy a one-way ticket down. We want to ride up and hike down, and so we still had to buy a round-trip ticket. But we're in it for the views.